downtown Manhattan, a symphony of steel, glass, and ambition. And right here, on the edge of the island, stands a building that embodies that relentless drive, 55 Water Street. But beneath its imposing exterior lies a secret, a hidden oasis, a park suspended in the sky. Prepare to have your perceptions challenged. To understand 55 Water Street, you have to go back to a time when bigger was better was the mantra of the day. The late 60s, early 70s. New York was, as always, reinventing itself. And down here, in the financial district, they needed space. Lots of it. The old slips were obsolete. This was the perfect location. Enter Emery, Roth & Sons, and the stage was set for a building that would redefine the lower Manhattan waterfront. This isn't a building that whispers, it roars. 55 Water Street is a behemoth, a fortress of finance. We're talking 687 feet tall, 53 stories plus a massive lower level, and a staggering 3.8 million square feet of office space. A design by Leroy Callender, built by the prolific firm that was Emery, Roth & Sons. It's not exactly brutalist, but it's got that same sense of unapologetic mass. A solid, no-nonsense structure designed to house the titans of industry. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're picturing the Empire State Building, all dressed up in its Art Deco finery, that new kid on the block, 270 Park Avenue, scraping the sky, or even the gleaming spire of One World Trade Center. And you're probably figuring they've got more room to swing a cat, so to speak. Well, hold your horses, folks, because square footage isn't always about height, or even about having the shiniest facade. The Empire State? A respectable 2.8 million square feet, give or take. 270 Park? They're shooting for about 2.5 million. And One World Trade Center? A symbolic and impressive 3.5 million, no doubt. But here's the kicker. It's spread across more than 100 floors. 55 Water Street? This quiet giant is playing a different game entirely, with more total space, but across far fewer floors. We are talking about one of the biggest floor plates in the city, up to 78,000 square feet per floor. We're talking usable space, the kind you can actually work in, not just admire from afar or get lost walking from one corner to another. No fancy spires, no wasted corners. Just pure, efficient, get-down-to-business square footage, spread out in a way that maximizes elbow room. It's the architectural equivalent of a perfectly tailored suit. No unnecessary frills, just maximum impact, and a surprising amount of breathing room. A masterclass in making every inch count, wouldn't you say? Yes, indeed. Although it's never mentioned, and it doesn't appear in the tourist guides, 55 Water Street is the largest building in New York City. Now you might be thinking, another Roth building? Haven't we seen enough of those? And you'd have a point. Emery, Roth & Sons were the McDonald's of mid-century office architecture. They were everywhere. And let's be honest, not every Roth building is a masterpiece. But 55 Water Street, while bearing the Roth stamp, was based on a project by Leroy P. Callender and had a certain undeniable presence. But the real driving force behind this concrete mountain were the developers, the Uris brothers, Percy and Harold. Now, there was a pair. Percy the elder was a stickler for detail. They say he'd personally inspect every doorknob in his buildings. Harold was the smooth talker, the one who wined and dined the power brokers. Together, they were unstoppable. 55 Water Street, with its prime waterfront location, was a classic Uris project. Ambitious, profitable, and maybe just a little bit showy. And speaking of tenants, let me introduce you to the quiet giant that calls 55 Water Street home. The Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, or DTCC. You've probably never heard of them, but they're the engine room of Wall Street. Every stock you buy, every bond that's traded, it all goes through them. Trillions of dollars a day. They're so important that they are considered a SIFMU, systemically important financial market utility. Designated by the Financial Stability Oversight Council. Beat that. If the financial system has a backbone, it's in this building. Makes you think, doesn't it? And now, for the building's most unexpected feature, the elevated acre. A full acre of public space, lifted above the street. Step out of the elevator, and suddenly, you're not in the financial district anymore. The noise fades, the wind softens, and you're surrounded by green. It's a deliberate contrast, a calculated escape, a reminder that even in the heart of the concrete jungle, there's a need for nature, for quiet, for a place to just breathe. Was it a purely altruistic gesture by the Uris brothers? Perhaps not, but it works. It's a gift to the city, whether they intended it that way or not, and it is connected to the rest of elevated walkways in Lower Manhattan, making it part of a greater, human-friendly project. Adjacent to the elevated acre is another more somber space, the New York Vietnam Veterans Memorial Plaza. It's a powerful and poignant reminder of a war that left an indelible mark on this city and the nation. The etched glass, the inscriptions. It's a place for reflection, for remembrance, for honoring those who served. Of course, 55 Water Street is more than just a park and a memorial. It's a place of business, a hub of financial activity. Over the years, it's been home to a who's who of the corporate world. From insurance giants like AIG in the past, to, well, let's just say, the tenants tend to be the kind of companies that need a lot of space and a prestigious address. 55 Water Street. It's not a building that courts affection. It's not a building that begs to be admired. It's a building that simply is. A monument to a certain kind of New York ambition, a testament to the power of money and the enduring allure of this city. It's a place where fortunes are made and lost, where the fate of the global economy hangs in the balance, and where, if you know where to look, you can find a quiet corner to escape it all. It's a paradox, a contradiction, a microcosm of New York itself. And that, my friends, is why it's worth talking about. So there you have it, another towering tale from the concrete canyons. Did you learn something? Did you find it mildly amusing? If so, feel free to click a button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, or don't. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to tell you about buildings. Until next time, keep looking up, New York. You never know what you'll find.